The James Webb Telescope just captured something terrifying inside Comet 3I, Atlas for years. Comet 3I, ATLAS was just another quiet traveler through space. A frozen wanderer made of dust and ice, drifting endlessly between the stars. But that calm image has just shattered. Because NASA's latest data from the James Webb Space Telescope and the Parker Solar Probe has revealed something so strange, it's forcing scientists to question everything they know about comets, and maybe, about life itself. It all started like any other day. At NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center, a team of astronomers was running a routine analysis. They were studying high-resolution infrared images of 3I, ATLAS as it passed near the asteroid belt. Everything looked perfectly normal, until the telescope captured a deeper layer beneath its icy surface. That's when they saw it, a massive hollow cavity inside the comet's core. But what made it impossible wasn't the size. It was the light. The cavity wasn't dark. It was glowing. At first, scientists thought it was a glitch. But after recalibrating the data, the truth became undeniable. The light wasn't reflected from the sun. It was being generated from within. Within hours, NASA redirected Webb's instruments to focus entirely on 3I, Atlas. The new images showed something even more disturbing, a pulsing energy pattern coming from deep inside the comet. The pulses weren't random. They were rhythmic. Mathematical. Each one repeated every 7.3 minutes, identical in frequency and duration, as if the object were transmitting a signal. At first, NASA believed it might be sunlight reflecting off buried ice crystals. But then came the shocker. The pulses continued even while the comet was in complete shadow, far from any direct sunlight. This wasn't reflection. This was emission. And then, the details grew even harder to ignore. Zooming closer, Webb revealed geometric formations inside the nucleus, hexagonal ridges, angular shadows, and structured symmetry no natural process could explain. Infrared heat maps showed concentrated energy sources hidden deep beneath the surface, almost like machinery. But the most chilling image came next. Through one of the comet's fractures, a spiral burst of plasma erupted into space, perfectly shaped, perfectly balanced. And when scientists analyzed its frequency, it matched signals previously detected in deep space. Signals once thought to be of intelligent origin. This wasn't a comet anymore. It was something else, something active. Maybe even alive. NASA immediately classified the data. Official reports used vague terms like anomalous internal activity, but an image leaked online, showing what looked like a network of glowing tunnels running through the comet's interior, like veins of light. Public reaction exploded. Inside NASA, fear was growing. Because only hours after those images were taken, 3I, ATLAS changed its course. Not slightly. Not naturally. It accelerated, directly toward the inner solar system. Toward the sun. No comet has ever done that before. This wasn't gravity. This was control. As it approached the sun, every major telescope turned to watch. The James Webb, Hubble, SOHO, and Parker Solar Probe all locked on to the same target. And what they saw made even the most experienced scientists fall silent. 3I, ATLAS wasn't disintegrating in the heat. It was thriving. Its surface glowed brighter. Its internal pulses sped up, from every 7.3 minutes to once every 45 seconds. It was like the comet was charging it. The impossible balance. Then came the moment no simulation could explain, the moment that defied every rule of celestial mechanics. 3I, ATLAS didn't fall into the sun's gravity. It didn't burn up. It stopped accelerating. Instead, it stabilized, perfectly, at a fixed point from the Sun. A position of impossible balance. No comet, asteroid, or spacecraft has ever achieved such a state. It was as if the object had found its own orbit by choice. NASA's Parker Solar Probe, orbiting dangerously close to the Sun, captured the clearest images yet. The feed showed 3I ATLAS releasing glowing streams of plasma, not in random bursts like a typical comet, but in thin, symmetrical beams aimed directly toward the Sun's north and south poles. At first, scientists thought it might be a trick of solar wind, until instruments detected electromagnetic synchronization. The Sun and 3I Atlas were vibrating at exactly the same frequency. Two cosmic systems, in perfect resonance. Dr. Elena Ramirez, one of NASA's lead solar physicists, called it a handshake between the Sun and something unknown. But what kind of entity shakes hands with a star? The solar response within hours, the handshake turned into something more, a conversation. The Sun began to respond. Massive flares erupted across its surface, the largest solar storms recorded in over half a century. Waves of radiation surged through space, reaching Earth and Mars simultaneously. Auroras exploded across both planets, glowing crimson and violet even at the equator. Satellites went dark. Power grids flickered. And for several hours, parts of Earth's upper atmosphere turned to static, as if the planet itself was listening to something it couldn't understand. NASA ran a full spectral analysis. What they found erased every trace of calm in the control room. The energy pulses coming from 3I Atlas were now synchronized with the Sun's own rhythm. Every time the object emitted a pulse, the Sun answered, with a flare of identical strength and timing. This wasn't reaction. This was control. The realization spread like fire across scientific networks. If 3I ATLAS could influence a star, even slightly, then it wasn't a comet. It was something engineered, or alive, with technology beyond anything we've ever imagined. Some believed it could be an ancient stellar regulator, a kind of cosmic machine designed to maintain balance in dying systems. Others feared a darker truth, that it was a living organism feeding on solar energy, a traveler that moves from star to star, harvesting light. The fragment, but before anyone could act, something else happened, something worse. A small fragment detached from the comet's surface. At first, it appeared to be debris, until it began moving independently, following a perfectly calculated trajectory. Its destination: Earth's orbit. NASA's Deep Space Network immediately locked onto it. Within minutes, faint radio bursts were detected, repeating, structured, and mathematical. When decoded, the pattern revealed something terrifyingly familiar, a direct reference to Earth's magnetic field signature. It wasn't random. It was targeting us. For the first time, humanity realized, whatever this thing is, it knows we exist. It has identified our planet. And it's coming closer every hour. The silence then, silence. NASA's official feeds went dark. No new images. No public data. The last transmission ended mid-sentence, right after the Parker Solar Probe recorded a sudden, blinding burst from 3I Atlas's position. A pulse strong enough to overload its sensors. Independent astronomers have since confirmed that both the object and the fragment remain active. The main body still orbits near the Sun, steady, deliberate. But the smaller fragment continues to move toward Earth, maintaining constant speed and perfect course correction, as if it's guided by something that never sleeps. The beginning now, telescopes across the world are tracking it. Governments are holding emergency meetings in secret. And deep beneath observatories and control centers, scientists are whispering the question no one dares to say aloud. What if 3I Atlas isn't alone? What if this is only the first of many? Because if a single object can communicate with a star, if it can choose when to stop, when to feed, and where to go next, then space isn't silent. It's alive. And it's watching us. So when you look up tonight, remember this: that somewhere beyond the light of the sun, something ancient, deliberate, and intelligent has already seen us. And it's not turning away. Because what we've witnessed from 3i Atlas isn't the end of